Blessings. Happy Halloween. Well, it's Halloween when I'm making this video. I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but I have two little kids. Many of you know that. And so, it's quite a big deal in our house, this holiday. Anyway, I actually wanted to pop in real quick with a video. As I was doing my morning practice and realizing what relief this process and practice brings me around releasing restlessness. So if you're someone, hey, if you're on, say hey. Hi, Patty, welcome. If you struggle sometimes or are challenged by just a feeling of restlessness, that way in which it's like this hum in the background, and it can be hard even to really devote yourself to what you're doing, to stay focused in things because you're sort of being pulled around by this restless energy, which often also creates a lot of thinking in the mind, right? So scattered thoughts, busy mind is often related to a feeling of restlessness. And so if you're someone who's is familiar with this and would like some support around how to find relief with it, then keep watching because this is for you. So restlessness is how, on the Buddhist path we refer to the obstacles to awakening. I always like to call them, friends on the path. They're often referred to as hindrances to our waking up, to our awakening. And, one of those things is kind of restlessness or anxiety. And this was always, this is my thing. This is the thing that brought me to meditation practice in the first place 20 years ago, and was what, was a chronic problem for me up until about age 26. I'm 44 now, so I've been working with this for a while. So I'm really familiar with the sense of just not feeling okay in my own skin. It's like I could never I'd be at let me pull an example. I'd be having conversation or with a friend or, my partner, or I'd be at work, or it didn't matter where I was, but it was just this not feeling fully present because I was somehow waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for something bad to happen, quite frankly, and I didn't even know what that was. So it was just this feeling of, and it's this restless feeling. Or we sit down, right? The first time I meditated at home alone, I could barely sit still for a minute. The restlessness was so strong inside of me that to sit longer than 5 minutes felt excruciating. And so this was restlessness. And what I realized was that restlessness is often uninvestigated kind of residue in the body. It's this, we have fears and we have beliefs that are running underneath the surface, but we're not aware of what they are. And so they show up as this sort of generalized sense of being restless or anxious, and then having a really busy, scattered mind and not seeming to be able to settle down. So if this is true for you, there's nothing wrong with you. I know very few human beings who are free of this restlessness that I'm talking about right now. And so what do we do about it? What can bring relief to it? So what I do, and I have all of my clients do this, and you might practice it too, and if you do start practicing it, let me know how it goes in the comments below. Or you might even comment below and just say, I'm going to give this a try I challenge you to do it for the next 7 days in a row. Imagine if you were doing this consistently with guided support, with accountability. It can be quite powerful, because the problem with things like this practice I'm going to introduce you to today is that they work. That's not the question. The problem is that you don't do it, or I don't do it, right? And so part of an accountability might be just to claim below, I'm going to do this for the next 7 days and see, and then evaluate if this helps me or not with my restlessness and my busy mind. So it's just, that could be a great way for having accountability, because when we make promises to ourselves, but we don't keep them, over time, it really erodes our sense of self-worth and, self-esteem and confidence that we'll follow through on things. So get out your journal. So this is a writing practice, and I have my decomposition book. I love decomposition journals, specifically the spiral ones, because I can write on both sides of the pages easily. And then they come in really cute designs, like pretty designs, so you can I get them all the time, different ones. And then you can I like them too because you can rip the pages out easily. Hey, Cammie, welcome. And so the journal prompt is super simple. And I suggest that you do this because we want to do, the reason we're writing to get relief from restlessness is because, like I said earlier, we're just unaware of what's going on under the surface. And the medicine of mindfulness is that once I bring it into my awareness, then it's shifted, it's transformed. This is alchemy. Whatever I bring up from the dark into the light no longer has a hold on me anymore. So if we have a place where we can expel, vent, process our undercurrent experience, then it won't be pulling us in a million different directions, and we'll feel more settled. Believe me, just try it today after you're done watching this video. Like, take your journal out and write to these prompts. Now, the first one, and then clients always ask me this, like, I don't really want to write about the negative because it's like I'm making it more solid, I'm making it more true. And this really, I get that. I totally get it. I'm not telling you to focus on the negative with this writing prompt. We're just wanting to shine awareness on what's going on under the surface. It's already there, so let's just become aware of it. And as a comment on that, I think that's like really gets in our way of healing, this like spiritual bypass thing that we'll do, where if we don't acknowledge the problem, what does it disappear? It's really magical thinking. And I think the intention behind this sort of idea, this sort of like more new age stream of thought around beliefs and positivity, I think the intention there is just not to stay stuck in fear, but we have to be clear about what's going on. What we want to be able to feel our emotions and know what our thoughts are. And this is the key to liberation. And so I just wanted to mention that because sometimes my clients, they feel a little nervous about getting honest like this in their journals, that somehow it's going to create it, or it's going to make it happen. And nothing could be farther from the truth. I mean, I could really will a pot of gold on the corner right now and think about it all day long, and it isn't going to happen. I don't know. I haven't actually tried, but I'm pretty sure. So the question is, these are the thoughts pulling me out of presence. I'm going to flip my camera around so you can see this. So there's my coffee, my candle, and I have the date. And these are the thoughts pulling me out of presence, ... I've already done my writing this morning, but I wanted to put that down for you to see. And then you can just go let it rip, like write down all of your fears, all of the things that are really bothering you. And you'll want to free write for about 5 minutes, if not longer. And that just means let everything out from inside out on the page. And it's not going to be published or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about grammar errors or grammatical. You don't have to worry about grammar or spelling or anything like that. You don't even really need to be able to read it. It's just an opportunity to get for what's in here out there so that you can release it. And then something that's really nice to do after that, if you have the time, is to ask that, that wise part of you can even, and then journal about it. But the question would be, what is it that I'm needing to know now? And write down whatever comes from that inquiry. And often that helps me if my day is, if I'm not seeing clients and it's a little less structured, it'll help me like hone in on what it is that I want to address first. And so I hope that helps. If we can get more transparent, more we can see, we can get more honest with ourselves about what's underneath the surface, what thoughts are pulling you out of presence, because whatever's pulling you out of presence has your power. So if you're noticing your mind keeps wandering off and you're feeling restless, write it down. Get it on paper. Something happens when we own it in that way, and right away a change starts to happen. And then, the solutions to problems can come in that way too. Often that's the entry point for me, is like acknowledging that I have this particular fear or anxiety, and then writing about it, or, helps me get it even more clear inside of myself. So I hope that serves you today, and have a wonderful day today, whatever you're doing. And I'll see you soon. Sending you much love and many blessings. Please do like, comment, share this if it served you today. Namaste.